Well, hello everyone. Today we are oh damn, fake me out. We're continuing our little mini series, if you will, on this here bike. This 2014 Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Custom. Yep, mean green in color, official factory spec, mean green. And I'm going to talk about 5 things I dislike about this bike, because the last video, if you missed it, I'll link it below. But last video, I mentioned some things that I liked about the bike, and I will start the reasons once I get past this light. 5 things I dislike about the bike. Number 5 has got to be the fact that there's only 5 gears. Only 5. And I still, after several months of riding, try to bump up to a 6th gear, because in 5th gear along the highway, this thing's screaming. It sounds very uncomfortable for the bike, and it vibrates my hands and feet numb. So that's not fun. And it being not like a super powerful engine, and the gears not being super tall, it just gets strung out. Could use a 6th gear. Next, number 4, I don't like chrome. I don't like chrome at all. It has its place on exhaust tips if you already have chrome on the bike, or vehicles, chromed exhaust tips. Like, okay, all right, I accept that. You know, I get it. Any other application, I don't like it at all. It's so gaudy and just, ugh. Especially on this bike, because it's got a blacked out engine. Blacked out pretty much everything, minus the handlebars, mirrors, and a few other accents. So I don't understand what the point of the chrome was. It's like they blacked out everything that they did on the classic version of this bike, and then they're like, it's too much to ask to black out all the rest of the little chrome pieces. Like, no thanks. It just seems lazy, and it cuts out the cool, sleek, uniform look that this bike could have. It's unfortunate. I will definitely be changing that in the future, for sure. Maybe it's just me and my personal vendetta against chrome. I don't know. Moving on. Number 3, forward controls. Not that I don't like forward controls, it's just that I'm a big dude. Like, physically, I mean, okay, I'm big all around, I guess. But I'm 6'2", with somewhat long legs, I suppose. But these forward controls still feel almost like mid controls. It's weird, because my legs come above the tank, so I'd expect that with mid controls, but with forward controls, it just kind of seems like, what's going wrong here? It's really not the bike's fault. It's probably just that I'm too damn tall for a middleweight cruiser. You know, I guess I need something more laid out, like Cholo style kind of deal, I guess. I'm not sure. But it's not the most comfortable, and doesn't feel quite like forward controls I feel like should feel. But that's a minor gripe. Number 2 is going to be engine output, power. It kind of goes along with the fact that it's only got 5 gears and it could really use a 6th. For the capability of the bike and the size of the bike, it just feels like it could be more with a stronger engine. Not saying it needs a 1800 in it, but just a little bit more, you know, nothing crazy. That and a 6-speed transmission would really make this thing perform very well. Alright, what the f, dude? Alright, whatever. Bigger engine, more gear, one more gear would be awesome. I'd love it. Especially since the Kawasaki lineup doesn't really offer that kind of in between this bike and say like the Vaquero, which is like a touring bike. It's a totally different thing. What the? The number one problem I have with this bike, above everything else, above power, above chrome, especially above chrome, the number one thing is definitely the brakes. I mean, good God. I realize for an entry-level bike, you're not going to get a whole lot. However, the problem with the single disc brakes, they're just so weak. Especially the front brake. And I really don't feel like I've ridden anything with crazy good brakes. I haven't ridden any sort of super sport or really anything. I mean, closest I've ridden would be an FC07 or a Ninja 650, but I mean, those still, I didn't feel like had phenomenal stopping power. But these, for a bigger, heavier bike than those, just stop so much worse. And I feel like, especially on the beginner market targeted bike such as this, you need good brakes. You need good brakes for people who are going to be on their first bike. And that was one thing that it was a little confidence kind of dipping, because I kind of had to worry. I was a little more cautious than I probably needed to be riding around giving crazy amount of space, because I had no idea if the brakes were going to actually work. But those are all my gripes. I can pretty much fix all of them, minus the gear. I'm not going to take the transmission apart and Frankenstein together a six-speed motor or tranny. But everything else I can kind of change. And like I said in the last video, I'm happy with the bike. It's not perfect. I wasn't expecting it to be perfect. It's a great first bike. I'd still recommend it to anyone. You'll have a blast for sure, no doubt, whoever you are and whatever your experience is. 100%. So I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Thank you for watching. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, share, the whole nine. And I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Bye!